Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Angeline, aka MunchterrDoll on Instagram. So today I'm going to show you how I do my everyday makeup routine. I don't always wear makeup, but when I do, this is what I do. So I'm going to start off with my eyebrows, which I'm gonna do off camera because it takes a while and I don't want this video to be too long. But what I usually use is the Anastasia Dipbrow pomade in Ebony, the shade Ebony. Is that how you say it? I don't know. But I use that, and then I use a clear mascara from Collection. Mine's dirty, so I'm not going to show you that, but that's what I do to set the brows in place. And then I'm going to use a concealer underneath my eyebrows so that it looks clean, and that's all I do. And that's my eyebrows done. Usually I can do better than this, but for some reason whenever I film it just doesn't go right. But you know, I tried my best, so let's just keep it as that. The next step would be primer. I've been loving the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. Look at me being all beauty guru and shit. You can't even see that, come on, focus. But yeah, it's the purple one basically, and it minimizes pores, I guess. It kind of reminds me of that Benefit one, the Professional one, but I don't know which I like more. I haven't used that one in a while. So I apply it mostly on my nose because that's where my pores are. And then I kind of spread it around my cheeks because I don't have as much pores in that area, but I like to cover that anyway. And I just spread it around my chin and the rest of my face just so it primes that area as well. So let's move on to foundation. I use the Makeup Forever HD Stick Foundation. I am the shade Y405. This is my tan color. I don't know if I'm tan enough for it because I haven't worn makeup in a while, but we'll make it work. So I kind of just apply it like that. I put quite a lot because I love a full coverage. If you wanted to do a sheer look, I feel like you could do that as well with this foundation, but personally I just love full coverage. So I just start blending that with my beauty blender. Well, this is the Real Techniques one. I don't usually put foundation on my forehead because I feel like that's where it looks cakey the most, but I do put what's left on my sponge on it just so it looks even to the rest of my face, because I don't want to have a dark forehead and then a light ass face. And now that I've done the base, you know what? Normally I love this foundation, I do, but for some reason it's been looking dry around my nose. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's clinging to the dry patches. Maybe it's because it's a stick foundation, it's not a normal liquid foundation, but I'm not going anywhere today, so it's fine. Now to move on to concealer, I'm going to use the the Lasting Perfection Ultimate Wear Concealer from the brand Collection in the shade Warm Medium. What I usually do is put a line down my nose, a straight line, as thin as I can do it, but usually my hands shake, so it's never as thin as I want it to be, but for this one I have to be quiet and not breathe. And yeah, that's what I do. I leave it there for a while to dry down a bit, so when I blend it out it's still got that line, so it makes my nose look a bit taller. I also use the same concealer in a darker shade and put that around it. I do this instead of using a really dark color to contour my nose, because I feel like it will look more natural and it just doesn't look too, you know, caked on my nose, if that makes any sense. Plus I just don't know how to make that work anyway. I feel like this, to me, looks better. And then I use a different concealer under my eyes. I use the Naked Skin by Urban Decay in medium dark. This one's a bit dark as well. I try not to do the overly light under eye look, because, you know, I want to look tanned as possible. What I like about this concealer is that it's not too thick. I put them around my smile lines as well. Kind of all over my face really, but focusing right at the center. And then I put a bit of that lighter collection concealer closer to my under eye, just to brighten it up a little, but not too much. And to help me blend it all together, I'm going to use the Fix Plus. I usually use the Mario Badescu spray, but I can't be bothered to get it right now, so I'm using Fix Plus. So I blend underneath my eyes first, because I feel like that's where it dries quicker. And I don't want any creases to form. And then I'm going to blend the concealer on my nose. After that, I'm just going to use my Sacha Buttercup setting powder to set my under eyes and bake it for a bit. I used the lighter shade because I believe there's only 2 shades, and the other one's a bit too dark for me. And I like this because it's got a really yellow undertone to it as well. And then I go down to my smile lines. And on my nose as well. And then I use a big fluffy brush just to apply that to the rest of my face, because I don't need to bake that. And then I'm going to use the Hoola bronzer by Benefit to chisel my cheekbones that are non-existent at the moment, but they'll appear, hopefully. I always apply a little bit higher than the normal shadow of my cheekbones, just so my face looks a bit more lifted rather than dragged down.
NANI?!
You can see my bra bit. Fuck. I hope it hasn't been showing this whole time. And then I also apply it on my jawline just so it covers the double chin. Can apply on my forehead as well, just so it evens out my face. And what I also do is use a flat eyeshadow brush to contour the sides of my nose, but not too much. You want them closer together as well so that it looks more snatched. And once I've done that, I usually put more powder on the side of my nose. And you know, I always do this one as well. I also do this to make sure that my contour is not too low down my cheeks. I don't leave it for too long because there's no need really. And after that, I just brush everything off. Because I don't like to use blush normally, I use a bronzer that is a bit lighter and a bit more warm toned on my cheekbones. I love the look of blushes on other people, but not on me. So this is my alternative. So I kind of just put that on the apples of my cheeks above my contour. And I kind of put that on top of my nose as well, to have that like sunburn type of look. And for this, I forgot to mention, I used the Fit Me Maybelline Matte and Poreless powder. Yeah, it's a pressed powder. It's not actually a bronzer, but I use it as a bronzer. I also forgot to mention that I have lash extensions on. Usually after I do my eyebrows, I do my winged eyeliner. The one I love to use is by Kat Von D. I'm sure you guys know about it because I don't have it on hand at the moment. But because it's waterproof, I can spray my face after that without it smudging. I also love using falsies, like big dramatic falsies. And the one that I usually use is by Unicorn Cosmetics. The name of it is Lemon Meringue, I believe. I've tagged it a few times on my photos if you want to see that. After that is done, I usually spray my face with a Mario Badescu, because you know, I can spray as much of that because it's cheaper and I don't feel bad using a lot. But since it's upstairs and I kind of don't want to move, I'm just going to use my Fix Plus. It works the same. I prefer this obviously, but it's a lot more pricey. And of course my favorite step, which is highlight. The one I always use is by Laura Geller in Gilded Honey, because it's very golden without it being too dark for me, because I find that a lot of golden highlighters kind of create a shadow instead of a highlight on my face when I face the front. The highlighter brush I use is by Morphe, which everyone uses, and you guys, I don't need to tell you. So yeah, kind of just put that on the tops of my cheeks. Yeah, I like to put a lot. I like a good glow. I mean, look at that. Look at the difference. Yeah. I try to focus my highlight on one area, because if I drag it down too much, it will make my face look rounder than it already is. So I try not to overdo it, but sometimes I just do because it's highlight. I mean, you can't control me. Just to make sure that that's not too low down my face again, I use the same brush I used for my bronzer just to kind of fix it a little bit. So what I do to highlight my nose is a really tiny pencil brush type of thing. I don't know what brand this is. I bought it in the Philippines like 5-6 years ago, so can't tell you. So I kind of just put it on the tip of my nose, and I kind of tap it down. I really love how that looks. I also apply it down the center of the bridge of my nose, but not connecting it down. It's kind of like an exclamation point, just so my nose don't look too long. And then when I feel like I've made it a bit too wide, I go back again with the brush I use for the contour and kind of fix that a bit down the side without applying any more product. I use the same brush for my eyebrows. To add color to my eyes, I'm gonna use the same bronzer, the Hoola bronzer, underneath my lower lash line, just to give it a bit more color. I'm gonna do the same on my eyelid, just a little bit, just to create dimension. And then I'm just gonna spray my face again. And then for my lips, I'm going to use my favorite lip liner ever, and I've not found anything that replaced it. You can see how small it is now, and I've used 2 of these already, and this is by MAC in the shade Strip Down. I just feel like this is the perfect nude for me. my camera stopped, but I love this color even if I'm pale. When I'm really tanned, it's just perfect. I feel like it's really nice for all skin tones as well. And then for the last step, I'm going to use a mascara for my lower lashes so that my top lashes don't look too heavy compared to my lower ones. So, you know, to be extra, I might put highlighter on my, what's it called? My clavicles, to be fancy. And I use the same highlighter I used. And then to be even more extra, I'm gonna use the iconic London spray, the Prep Set Glow. Look how beautiful that looks. It goes to your clothes though, so be careful. Just gonna... And that, my friends, is the finished look. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And if you want to see more videos from me, make sure to comment what you want to see from me next, or you can DM me on Instagram as well at MunchterrDoll. And yeah, have a nice day. Bye.